back, boys. Just give me one moment to announce that I'm live on Discord and Twitter. Additionally, I still am very sick. I don't know if you can hear my voice. I'm dying. That's okay. As long as I find the shiny before I pass away, nothing matters. But yeah, we're gonna get going. We are at 2,000 resets. My goal today is to get to like 2,500. I think 500 a live stream's been pretty good because it usually takes us about 2-3 hours to do that. And by the time I'm done with those 2-3 hours and those 500 resets, I'm usually getting a little bored. And I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to like burn myself out with this series. And I especially don't want to eventually like come to dislike this series. I want to have fun when I'm streaming. So I think yeah, I don't know. I think 500 resets a stream's been pretty good. Let me put on some background music, especially because I'm sick, so I'm not going to be talking like every second of the entire stream. So the background music should help. And we're already starting off with a banger. Aspertia City. Oh my gosh. Alright. What did I do to deserve that? Well, if I wonder... A question. Real quick. Let's see if I can fix the camera a little bit. Come on. It's not loading. Ah, no, that's as far over as it can go. That's unlucky. What a bummer. Okay, fine. I just wanted the camera to look a little bit better. But that's okay. Oh, shoot. You know what I forgot to do? Give me one moment, boys. Just one moment. I'm so sorry. I forgot something. I'll keep the music playing at least. I'm dying. Alright, I'm back. So sorry. I'm so sorry. See, this is why I usually have a stream starting soon screen. That way, like, after I do start the live stream, I have about like 10-15 minutes to get everything ready and make sure that everything is accounted for. However, I didn't do a stream starting soon screen today because I just thought, screw it. It's just a Pokemon shiny hunting stream. It's nothing too crazy. Anyways, let's get going, shall we? I need to get my muscle memory down and ready to go again. I feel like every time I do one of these live streams, my muscle memory is just broken. And it takes me like a couple minutes to relearn my muscle memory. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I still feel really sick, and I feel bad because I don't want to stream when I'm sick. Like, not only does my voice sound bad, but I'm sniffly, and the quality of the content is just a little bit lower. But, like, also, I have such a headache, and, like, my head feels so congested that I think it's affecting my ability to just talk on camera. My commentary is just so much worse. Like yesterday I was playing Sonic Race and Cross Worlds, which was a game I was very excited about. Like, I had been waiting for a long time for that game to come out. And even though I was super excited about it, I still What the heck? Where's my Twitch chat? No way. Did my Twitch never go live? Am I only live on YouTube right now? Give me one moment. Oh my god. This is what I get for not doing a stream starting soon screen. Everything's broken. Okay, I am live on Twitch. What the fuck? I just can't see my Twitch chat. It's fine. I'll open up a Twitch page on my other monitor. That's so weird. I'm glad I noticed that though, because I could have gone this entire stream without having my Twitch chat pulled up. Because for some reason, like, I have the chat normally on my stream software, the program I use to live stream. The chat's just in there directly. But for some reason, the Twitch chat's not there today. So if I want to look at the Twitch chat, I have to look at my other monitor with this page I have opened up. Annoying. Okay, sorry. There's already been so many issues with today's live stream. But then again, there's usually at least one technical difficulty in all of my live streams. Let's be honest. It's all but a guarantee. So, is anyone surprised? It's all good though. Anyways, like I was saying, my head feels like so congested. No, bro. I didn't grab the Charmander on this one. Must have been pressing the wrong button. What a bummer. What a bummer. Yeah. Okay. 4 more Charmanders. None of them shiny. Okay, yeah, so... What was I even saying, bro? I keep getting interrupted by my own damn self. Yeah. Oh, my head is so congested, and I have such a headache that when I was playing Sonic Racing Crossroads yesterday, like, I was really excited to play that game. I've been, like, dreaming of that game for so long, and I felt like I just couldn't commentate. I felt so off, and I could not speak. Half of the things I was saying, like, made no sense, and I would, like, try to tell a story on stream, and it would take me, like, 15 minutes to tell a simple story. Like, a story that would normally only take 5 minutes. And, I don't know, man, like, I just felt so off. So, I'm really hoping today that, at the very least, my commentary isn't completely deranged like it was yesterday. I don't know. I also just feel sick, which sucks. I don't like live streaming when I'm sick, but at the same time, I am trying to take streaming a bit more seriously, almost treat it like a part-time job, which is something I've never done in the past. Like, I've been live streaming for over 10 years, and it's always just been a casual hobby for me. Like, I've told this story a lot recently on stream, but I'm gonna tell it again. You know, I know I've already said this on stream, like, probably 5 times in the last 5 streams, but I used to live stream in the most casual way possible, where, like, if I felt like streaming, I would go live, and I had no consistency to my streams. Sometimes I would go live at 3 in the afternoon, sometimes I would go live at 3 in the morning. It just depended on, you know, if I was in the mood to play games at that time or not. Additionally, my stream schedule was super inconsistent. Like, sometimes I would go live once a week, sometimes I would go live 5 days a week, and then other times I would not go live for multiple months on end. I have had multiple month-long breaks from Twitch, and I've also had a couple year-long breaks from Twitch. But lately, I've been trying to take streaming a lot more seriously. It's part of the reason why I now have a set stream schedule. And the only way I'm not going to follow that stream schedule, the only reason I wouldn't follow that stream schedule, is because I'm either bedridden or unable to talk. Like, sure, I'm sick right now. I have a head cold, you know, runny nose, my voice is scratchy, but I can still play games and I can still talk. So my mentality nowadays is like, I'm streaming no matter what. If I can't get out of bed, then I'll cancel the stream. If I can't speak, then I'll cancel the stream. But otherwise, I'm streaming. And I've really enjoyed having a set stream schedule because it's resulted in more consistent viewership. Shocker. Like, who would have thought that more people will show up to my streams if they know when I'm going live compared to, like, back in the day, you know, like I said, I would go live randomly at like 3 in the morning and no one would show up. Obviously. Like, it was silly of me to expect anyone to show up. Give me 1 second. This music is a little loud. I want to see if I can, like, adjust the volume a bit, maybe. That's a bit better. Okay. But yeah, like, it was silly of me to expect people to show up to a live stream at 3 in the morning that I had not announced prior. I would just randomly hit the go live button, and I thought that was a good strategy. I'll be honest, I didn't really think it was a good strategy, but I didn't really care. Again, streaming was way more casual for me back in the day. Hi, Abby. How are you? What's for me? Vitamins? Vitamins? I'll take some vitamins, bro. I feel like shit. What vitamins are you giving me? Are you poisoning me? Vitamins A, E, and minerals. Ooh, what kind of minerals? Oh, and vitamin C. I'll fuck with it. Thank you. I can get the fucking child-safe lid off. Oh my god. It's a child-safe lid, and I just so happen to have the mental capacity of a child. Time for a little vitamin gummy. Oh, it's not great. It's like coated in a weird substance. I hate that. I do not like that. That's okay though. Hopefully it'll make me feel better. It's supposed to be a gummy, but I feel like I'm chewing through a leather shoe, bro. Oh my god. This shit is ass. I mean, it doesn't actually taste that bad. It's just so tough to chew. You know, I should probably take, like, vitamins, specifically, more often. I admit that, okay? I should probably take vitamins more often, but I really only take vitamins when I'm sick, and maybe that's not the best strategy. However, it does feel sometimes like I'm just shock charging my body. Like, completely restarting my internals. A fucking clean reboot. It's the same with, like, caffeine. I almost never drink caffeine, but say, like, I got only a couple of hours of sleep the last night and I need to go to work and I need to stay up and make sure that I'm staying active and aware, then I'll drink, like, a coffee, and it immediately just restarts my entire brain. Like, shuts it off, reboots it, and it hits me like a cannon. So maybe it's a good thing I don't drink caffeine that often, because when I do, it hits. Vitamins, on the other hand, I probably should take more often. It's probably not a good thing that I never really take vitamins. What was I even saying, sorry, before my wife walked in? Oh, yeah, I've just been trying to take streaming more seriously. Like, I have a set schedule now. I try to follow that schedule and just, you know, I don't take days off from streaming. At least, you know, none of my scheduled days off unless I have to. For example, recently, I missed like 2 live streams because I got in a car accident. But I felt like that was a reasonable thing, you know? That was a reasonable excuse as to why I was missing my live streams. Plus, I had crazy whiplash afterwards. My neck hurt so bad after that car accident. But yeah. I'm also trying to, like, take streaming more seriously by, you know, streaming on multiple platforms. Though I have an update to that, by the way. If any of you have watched my recent live streams, you'll know that I have been banned from TikTok Live 2 times in the last month. Thankfully, the first ban was only 1 day, so I was immediately able to stream again the next day. My second ban was a week, and that was actually very recently. That was like a week ago. And my first live stream back on TikTok was yesterday, after my week ban, of course. So I was away from TikTok for a week, streamed on TikTok yesterday. I have once again been banned for a week. So I'm not live streaming on TikTok right now. Normally, I stream on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok all at the same time. Right now, I am only streaming on Twitch and YouTube. And it's because, like I said, I have another 1 week long ban, and I don't understand why. Like, TikTok isn't giving me a reason for it. And I don't really know how much TikTok works. I haven't been streaming on their platform for that long, but I would naturally assume that if you get your live streaming access revoked, they would tell you why. But they haven't told me why. And what makes it even more confusing is TikTok has an entire section under your profile called restrictions and violations. And restrictions are usually more like a warning, whereas violations are like an actual punishment. You know, if you get a violation, you will get banned for live streaming, or you'll get banned from uploading videos for a certain period of time. So, TikTok has a page underneath your account where you can look at your account's restrictions and violations. And the most confusing part about it for me is I have 0 restrictions or violations on my account. I have nothing. My account is squeaky clean. So even though I have 0 restrictions and 0 violations on my account, I've still been banned from TikTok live streaming 3 times in the last month. And I don't understand why. It's really confusing. I've put both a support ticket in with TikTok Live, as well as just TikTok, the platform. And neither of them have been resolved. Though, to be fair, the one I put in for just like my account, just the general TikTok platform, I only put that in this morning when I found out I was banned again. But like, the support ticket that I submitted to TikTok for live streaming specifically was like a week ago. I submitted that the second time I got banned. And they haven't answered it. So I've put 2 support tickets in with TikTok to try and figure out why my account keeps getting banned from live streaming. And I've heard no response yet. And again, it's just so confusing because, like, my account as a whole isn't banned. My account isn't, temporarily restricted. I'm still able to upload regular TikToks and post video content. But I tried to live stream, and TikTok has now nuked my live stream. Just completely removed it off the face of the platform 3 times in 1 month. And I don't understand why, bro. I'm starting to get really fed up, and if I can't, I don't know, if I can't find a solution to this, I might just stop live streaming on TikTok altogether. Because again, I'm only banned for a week right now. But let's say a week from now, I come back to TikTok, oh shit, knocked my tripod a little bit. Oopsies, my bad. Anyways, let's say, I wait my week-long ban, I live stream on TikTok 7 days from now, and then for a 4th time I get banned. I don't know how much more patience I can have with that platform. I don't know how much more of that cycle of getting banned, unbanned, banned, unbanned I can deal with. It's just a headache at this point. So, I don't know. We might not be live streaming on TikTok much anymore in the future, which is a bummer. Because, as I said, I'm trying to take live streaming more seriously. And part of that process has been multi-streaming on a variety of different platforms. But, TikTok just might not be one of those platforms anymore moving forward, which is a shame. I don't know if I would replace TikTok with another platform. I joked around the other day. Hold up, I need a tissue. I joked around the other day about live streaming on Facebook. And that was mostly a joke, but the more I think about it, if I am still banned on TikTok in the future, I might replace it with Facebook because I don't know what the next best option would be. I mean, maybe the best option is just not replacing TikTok with anything and only streaming on YouTube and Twitch. But I want to have as much opportunity for growth as possible, and I want to, take content creation a lot more seriously moving forward. And I think part of growing nowadays, and one way you can be more serious about it nowadays, is multi-streaming on a variety of platforms. But I really don't know what I would replace TikTok with, like I said. I've had people in my chat joke about me going to Kick. I'm never going to Kick. Alright? I want to get into heaven when I die. Okay? That's a lifelong goal of mine. And I think Kick would just be an immediate denial of that process. I'm joking, of course. But Tick. That's what it should be called. Kick is a very corrupt website. The things they endorse, the things they promote, and the things they allow on that platform are not things that I want to align with. And that's not even like me just being, a fucking lightweight, easily offended person. Like, no, I just don't want to be on a platform where they promote gambling or they promote literal, like, insanely fucked up, evil people. Like, oftentimes the most popular people on Kick are people who had to leave YouTube or Twitch or TikTok because they got caught, like, scamming their audience or sexually assaulting a minor or, like, rug pulling a fucking cryptocurrency. And I don't want to be associated with those kinds of people. So, yeah. We're not moving over to Kick. I think the most likely options that I would replace TikTok with is Facebook or Instagram. The problem is I don't have a Facebook account for my gaming content specifically. Like, I have a personal Facebook account, but I never use it. I haven't used it in over a year. Like, when I got married was the last time I posted on Facebook. So it would feel kind of weird trying to revise and revitalize my Facebook account for gaming content specifically, especially because it was never an account made for gaming content. I usually only used Facebook just to, like, stay in touch with my family members and friends. So it's more of a personal account. It's definitely not a gaming account. And therefore, if I turned it into, like, a gaming account where I live stream every day, it would just feel out of place, especially for the people I'm friends with on Facebook. I'd also probably give, like, my elderly aunts, uncles, and grandparents heart attacks if they watched my streams and heard the shit I was saying on here. They'd hear, like, one curse word or me say the word "cum" a single time, and they'd pass away. So, like, if I wanted to live stream on Facebook, I would have to make, like, either a whole new account or one of those kind of, like, group, almost like public accounts. I don't know how to describe it because I don't really use Facebook, but you know what I mean. Like, you can make a public page for a brand or a business, and I would have to probably make one of those for my gaming content. And if I can be so honest with you, I don't know how I feel about having to start over from scratch with a brand new gaming account and put all this effort into trying to, like, get it followers and attention. Especially, I don't really feel like doing that on Facebook. That was the nice thing about, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube, the 3 platforms I'm currently live streaming on. I already have a following on those platforms. So when I added one to my multi-streaming rotation, like, it was easy. Because, back in the day, I used to only stream on Twitch, but I still uploaded videos to TikTok and uploaded videos to YouTube. So then when I started live streaming on TikTok and live streaming on YouTube as well, it was pretty easy to get people to show up to those live streams because I already had followers on both my TikTok and YouTube. But with Facebook, I would have to, like, almost start from scratch. And I'm not saying that I don't want to do that because I'm lazy. It's partially because I'm lazy. I just don't feel like doing that on Facebook. Like, I don't know if it's worth my time and energy to try to start from scratch and build something up from the ground again on Facebook. I just don't care enough about Facebook, bro. Now, another option that we could replace TikTok with is Instagram. But I feel like Instagram Live is such a joke. Like, there's no notoriety with live streaming on Instagram. Like, let me ask you this question: have you ever seen an Instagram Live pop up on your feed if it wasn't from someone you already follow? The answer is no. Like, the only time I've ever seen an Instagram Live is if someone I follow goes live. But Instagram does not promote live streaming content. Their algorithm does not like boost live streaming content, and you're never going to be scrolling through your explore page and just find a new live stream from a random person. It doesn't happen. It never happens. Unlike, YouTube and TikTok, where you could be scrolling through YouTube and you get a random live stream promoted to you, or you could be scrolling through TikTok and have a live stream pop up on your For You page. Instagram does not promote live streaming at all. So, to me, it just would feel a little silly trying to live stream on Instagram because I feel like it would get no traction. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good option either. And then beyond that, there's not many other options. Like, what else is there for live streaming platforms? There's like that Russian website Trovo, but I'm not Russian. I mean, I know some English-speaking people live stream there, but it's such a minority that I feel like I would not, again, have much chance for growth. What else is there? I'm trying to think of any other options. I mean, there's Twitter, but also same with Twitter. Similar to Instagram, Twitter does not promote or boost live streaming content in their algorithms. You can't even go find it. They don't have like a tab for live streaming. Unless I'm mistaken. I mean, I can go check right now. Let me look up the Twitter website. I'm pretty sure there's no like tab on Twitter for live streaming. Yeah, it's Home, Explore, Notifications, Messages, Grok, their shitty AI, Bookmarks, Communities, Twitter Premium, Profile, and more. Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? Yeah, like Twitter does not... They have live streaming, but their live streaming is just not promoted anywhere at all. So I feel like live streaming on Twitter would be kind of silly, because no one would see it. I also don't even know how you live stream on Twitter. Like, do you get a stream key from Twitter? It's so weird. I'm good. How about you? I'm okay. I'm very sick. So, like, my voice is scratchy. I have a super stuffy nose. And I feel bad because I have to keep muting my mic to, like, sneeze. But, my mentality lately has been, if I can at least get out of bed and my voice is not dead, like, as long as I can speak, I'm going to try to live stream. Especially because, like, I work so much nowadays where, I don't know, work kind of keeps me away from live streaming. So any day I'm not working, I'm trying to live stream. What are Pokemon Fire Red? Do you mean, like, what are these games? Or, I'm a little confused by the question. Apologies. How's the hunting going? It's okay. It's been almost a week since we've done a shiny hunt on these games, so I've had about a week-long break, which has been nice because, I don't want to get myself burned out with this. And additionally, I've been playing some other games during that time, like Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I am, like, addicted to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I streamed it for 5 hours yesterday, and then I continued to play it for, like, another hour off camera. I'm having so much fun with that game. But, I don't want to abandon the shiny hunt altogether. So even though I honestly want to be playing that game right now, we're still going to shiny hunt because I want to get the shiny hunt done. as soon as possible. Like, the other shinies we're going to try to catch in this game aren't as much of a priority, nor am I trying to, like, rush to find them. But the reason I'm really rushing and prioritizing Charmander is because we need Charmander to start playing the game. Like, the whole point of this series is I want to beat either Fire Red or Leaf Green, whichever game I find the shiny Charmander on. But I want to beat these games with shinies only. And I can't start playing the games until I find him. So it's been a grind, but deservedly so. And also, like, reasonably, this should be my priority right now. It makes sense to prioritize the shiny Charmander hunt just so the content can actually start. So the Let's Play can begin. Yeah. How long have you been on Twitch? I've been on Twitch about 10 years, actually. It's a little over 10 years. I joined Twitch in, like, January or February of 2015. And now it's 2025, which is crazy to think about. Now, it's technically a lie to say that I've been on Twitch for 10 years, because during those 10 years, I've not only taken, like, month-long breaks, but I've also taken entire years off of streaming. Like, I made my Twitch account in 2015, but I don't think I streamed a single time in 2016. And I also took a break from streaming in, like, it was either 2018 or 2019. I don't know. There's been a couple years where I just haven't streamed at all. Do you stream daily? Not daily. Like I said, I do have a full-time job. So any day that I work my job, I normally don't stream. And then any day that I'm not working, I do stream. So for example, I have 4 days off of work this week. So this week we're streaming 4 times. But then, like, can't think of a different example because I usually have 4 days off. In a couple weeks, I'll probably be working some overtime. And if I'm working overtime, I don't know. I'll probably only stream like once or twice that week because I want to make some extra money. That money is the only way I'm able to buy 4 versions of Fire Red and Leaf Green, you know? I'm kidding. 2 of these copies aren't even mine. Neither are 2 of these systems. These 2, the Club Penguin DS and the Blue Game Boy, are not my systems. And like I said, 2 of the games aren't mine either. I'm just borrowing things from friends and family. So this wasn't a super expensive series, because it would have been. If I needed to have purchased myself 4 systems and 4 copies of this game, it would have been a little out of my budget, you know? Especially for a streamer my size. Do you happen to remember when the last number I told you my resets were? Were you, like, in the 5,000s? I don't really remember. I know you weren't over odds yet, correct? I'm pretty sure you weren't over odds. So, if my memory is correct, you were below 8,000. So I'm going to say 5,000. I'm probably completely wrong, but, you know, that's okay. That's alright. So I don't really, like I said, just now, don't really have the money for digital art. Plus, I'm pretty happy with everything I have right now. Like, you know, I'm not a full-time streamer, so I can't really justify investing in, like, custom art, custom emotes. And most of the stuff I do have, I've just made myself, which I'm satisfied with. Boy. I think it was like 4.5k a week ago. I'm at 5.8k with single hunting. Oh, I do remember you saying you were single hunting, which is... that's rough. That's gotta be rough, brother. But 5.8k is crazy. Do you have Insta? Yeah, my Insta is both linked below my page. There's a chat command for it. I think if you just type !Instagram or !Insta, honestly, both might work. But yeah, you can find it either way, on my page or in my chat. But yeah, that's so you've done like over 1,000 in a week. It's crazy. I've just passed 50% odds. Good for you. Good for you. I'm a little jealous. We hit our first 100 resets of the stream, though. That's big. I think all I want for Christmas... Oh, shit. Those links are wrong. Fuck. Okay, my bad. I'll just put it in the chat for you. I need to update those links. God damn, they're old. Oh my god. That is crazy. You know, thank you for reminding me to update my my links though. Oh, that's so funny. So funny. I can't believe I never fixed that after I changed my name. We did it, chat. We did it, Joe. Yeah, that's funny though. I changed my name on Twitch like 3 months ago. And I guess I never fixed my links. My Nightbot commands. It's still showing my old name. Oh shoot, I pressed the wrong buttons. Just another thing I'm going to add to my to-do list. Lord have mercy. Update all of my Nightbot commands. I feel like my to-do list is always growing. And even though I do a pretty good job of like checking some things off the list and getting things done when I'm not at work, like on my days off, I get a lot done. And even though I feel like I'm doing a lot all the time, my to-do list is like never... It's never nothing. Like, it doesn't even go away. It feels like it's constantly growing instead of shrinking. And quite literally never ending. What song is this? Madali from Scarlet and Violet. I did not recognize that. That's crazy. Okay. You know, I might be sick. My nose might be runny. My voice might be scratchy. My head might be hurting. And my chest feels like it's on fire. But if I found a shiny today, that would cure all of my ailments. I would be a healed man. Sure about the Scarlet Violet promotional? No, what do you mean? I'm very curious. I'm very curious. I started looking it up and then realized I should probably keep playing the game. Alright. What promotional would they be doing? If you go to GameStop, they'll give you a shiny Koraidon/Miraidon for free. Really? That might be a reason for me to go to GameStop for the first time in a long time. Well, I guess that's technically a lie. I went to GameStop once this year, and that was to pick up my Nintendo Switch 2. But otherwise, like, besides the Switch 2, that might be the only time I've been to GameStop in, like, the last 5 years. The Switch 2 is the only time in 5 years I've been to GameStop, which is kind of crazy to say out loud. But I usually just go to, like, this mom-and-pop gaming store near to where I live. It's very close to where I live. And not only is it nice because it's family-owned, but it also doubles as a retro gaming store. So, like, they have, you know, modern games. They got Switch 2 games. But then they also have N64 games and Game Boy Advance games. That's where I bought a lot of my collection, honestly. A lot of the games I own in my collection I've purchased from that store. For example, I own every Pokemon game up until the Switch. So I have every Game Boy game, every DS game, and every 3DS game. And when I say every game, I don't mean like, oh, I have Pokemon Ruby. No, I have Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I also own Red, Blue, and Yellow. So a lot of those games that I purchased when I was trying to, complete this collection, a lot of them are games I bought from this like mom and pop gaming store. And they're really nicely priced as well. This is something I was talking about yesterday on stream, so it's going to be a little bit of a repeat topic, apologies. But I was explaining how yesterday we recently bought a new 3DS XL. And the reason I bought it is because I'm going to put a capture card on it, and then we can stream our 3DS, but also DS games, obviously, because the 3DS can play DS games. So if I wanted to like do a shiny hunt on Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I would be able to do it on camera. Now, don't get me wrong, I could also live stream these Game Boy games through a capture card. I just don't have 4 capture cards, I don't have 4 capture cards for these 4 devices. But, yeah, if I get this 3DS capture card attached to my 3DS, it will mean that I could basically live stream every Nintendo console. Because once I get this capture card for the 3DS, I'll not only own every Nintendo console, but I'll have a capture card that can play every Nintendo console on my live stream. So very excited about that. And I had to specifically buy a new 3DS XL for this capture card. Luna Chris, are you listening to me? I am listening to you. I could try to look at your portfolio, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be spending money on digital art. I do not have that kind of money. I'm what people in the business call poor. But I'll still look at it, I love window shopping. I love making myself think that I have money that I don't, Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I had to buy a new 3DS XL because that was the only 3DS that would work with the capture card. It had to specifically be that second generation XL 3DS. Don't know why, but whatever. So I was looking, at various online shops and also in-person gaming stores to just compare prices. One online shop I looked at is kind of a popular one. You might know it's DK Oldies. And I don't remember the exact price that DK Oldies had for their 3DS XL, so I'm actually going to look at it real quick. DK Oldies, let me look this up real quick. What was the price of their 3DS? I know it was pretty expensive. It was like stupid expensive. New 3DS XL. Hello? Their website is crashing. Yeah, it's 200. Oh my god. It is $250 for a new 3DS XL on the DK Oldies store. So I looked at a couple online shops like that, and very obviously did not buy from there. I then started looking at this franchise store, though calling it a franchise store is a little bit of an exaggeration because they only have like 4 locations. I think they're adding a 5th one. But I still feel like that's kind of impressive because most retro gaming stores don't have more than 1 location. So I called this franchise store, and they were selling their 3DS for $220. It's better than DK Oldies, but still not the price I'm looking for. So as like a last-ditch Hail Mary, I went to that local mom and pop store near where I live, the place that I buy most of my games from. And I probably should have started with them because I know that they have very fair and good prices. Because I ended up buying a new 3DS XL from them for $180, which would be $70 cheaper than DK Oldies online and $40 cheaper than this franchise retro gaming store. And honestly, I was pretty happy with that price. I feel like 180 for a new 3DS XL is not bad. Sure, you could probably find one cheaper at like a fucking garage sale. But I'm not going to be driving around God's green earth looking for some poor child whose mother is selling his 3DS, you know? Sorry, I'm catching up on chat. No purchase necessary for the shiny Koraidon / Miraidon. I went to GameStop this morning, bought nothing, and I'm assuming they just gave you the shiny. So, like, did you have to ask them for a code? Or, like, how does it work? I also might have to mute my mic here soon. We've been live for about 45 minutes, which honestly kind of impressive. We've been live for 45 minutes and I haven't had to blow my nose yet because, like I said, I feel so sick. But I might mute my mic here in a minute just to blow my nose. It's a card they give you that has the promo code on it. Oh, that makes so much sense. That makes a lot of sense. Alright. Oh, shoot. My clicker is one ahead. We're supposed to be at 2132, and we're at 2133 on the clicker. Next time, I'll just only click it 3 times. Do the batteries still work for those older games? Yes and no. A lot of the games I have, the batteries do work. Like, my Pokemon Red, I was playing that as recently as a week ago, and the battery still works, my save file's still there. But then my copy of Pokemon Crystal, the batteries do not work anymore, and I lost my save file, which I was kind of sad about, I'll be honest. That was a bit of a bummer. So, it just depends on the game. And, you know, I could easily replace that battery on my copy of Pokemon Crystal, but I'm just a little too lazy. And also, like, I don't really plan on playing Pokemon Crystal anytime soon. I had already beaten the game. Like, it was a bummer I lost my save file, but at least I beat the game before that happened. So if I ever wanted to play Crystal again, I could just replace the battery. But I'm not in a rush to do that. You know what I mean? Quite expensive. I'm glad I got mine from Japan for a reasonable price. How much did yours cost from Japan? Was like the shipping bad? Because I've thought about buying things internationally, especially like gaming consoles and retro games. But I'm always worried about like the shipping or something getting damaged in shipping. Something I have a lot of anxiety about, to be honest. Like, there were cheaper capture cards, admittedly, that I could have bought for this 3DS internationally, but I didn't really want to. So instead, the capture card I bought was in United States. It was $120 for this 3DS capture card. So, like, it's not bad, but it could have been cheaper if I decided to go international. I don't know. Very torn about it. Alright, I think I'm actually going to blow my nose now, because I just feel stuffy. I feel gross. Sorry about that, boys. Normally, I wouldn't care about blowing my nose on stream, but because I'm sick, it doesn't just sound like I'm blowing my nose. It looks like I'm expelling a demon. It sounds like a goblin is being removed from my body. So, just to not be gross, I'm both muting my mic and ducking out of the camera. Hey, what's up, first time chatter? How you doing? Wonderful to see you today. Sorry you had to join the stream when when I was quite literally expelling a demon, but you know, hopefully it doesn't ruin your first impression of me. No, I used to live in Japan. Paid about $130, $35, but in yen. Okay, that's actually a really good price. That's a really, really good price for a new 3DS XL. 135. Damn. They have so many retro gaming stores there. Yeah, I that's one thing I'm very jealous about. I feel like retro gaming stores in the States are difficult to find, and half the time when you do find one, they're overcharging for everything. It's like unnecessarily expensive. So, kind of a bummer. Yummy, some Jello snacks. Oh, bro, what? That is not what I was expecting. That's so funny. So it sounds like my first impression was not ruined for you. If anything, it's more exciting. I don't know how I feel about that, but you know, I can get down. It's so funny. It also came with Pokemon Home. Ooh, that's big. I made sure to download like as many things from the eShop that I had either already owned or wanted to buy before the 3DS eShop got discontinued, because I was so worried about like having those games just disappear forever. Because I already owned a ton of games on the eShop, but I had like uninstalled some of them, or you know, just kind of let a lot of things sit in my library and I never played them in the first place. But then when I heard the 3DS eShop was going offline, I made sure to download pretty much everything I ever purchased for my 3DS. That way all the games are currently sitting on my console and not lost for all of eternity. I didn't have to buy my own SD card, but that was fine. Hey! Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Give me 1 second here. I want to like make that notification a little bit better. I feel like it's kind of small. I don't know. I don't know if I can fix that live on stream. Maybe we'll just fix it later. Yeah, this might be too much work to fix this live on stream. At the very least, I'll quickly edit it. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, I wanted to make it look better for the stream. Thank you for the follow. I'm glad the notification at least worked. Dude, for some reason my last stream, the notifications stopped working halfway through the stream, and I was so mad. I just felt bad for like people who followed or subscribed to me on YouTube. Like, I felt bad they didn't get notifications. I too have been shiny hunting on Fire Red. Been trying for a Pidgey just for the heck of it. 130 hours to no avail. Are you keeping track of your resets? Or are you just keeping track of time? Because like back in the day when I used to shiny hunt off camera, before I started doing it like on live, I didn't keep track of resets, but I did keep track of time. And 130 hours sounds unbearable. Oh my god. If I get a shiny Rattata, I will train it, but I will also give up. That's when you just make it your HM slave, you know? That's when the Rattata gets taught 4 HM moves and is never brought out into battle. You know, it should know its place. And its place is at the back of your party. I mean, that's my plan with this series, so I would really, really like to beat the entirety of Fire Red and Leaf Green with only shinies. I understand it's going to take a lot of time, and it's kind of a tall ask, but I want to beat this whole game with only shinies. And one of the shinies I'm going to catch is genuinely just going to be an HM slave. And that's partially because I don't really care about the shiny, And also, it's due to the fact that, like, I don't want to have to give my Charizard 2, 3, 4 HMs. Like, I want my shiny Charizard to actually have a real moveset. So one of my shinies is just going to be the HM slave. And that's, you know, that's okay. That's just how life works sometimes. I'm just grassing it up. I've considered going with the egg route. Yeah, but I feel like some eggs... I mean, I can't imagine it would be that bad for Pidgey, but like some eggs in this game, you have to walk an ungodly number of footsteps to hatch them. Like in the tens and 20,000s number of footsteps. So like, again, I don't think Pidgeys would be that bad. It would probably only be a couple thousand. But I feel like sometimes with hatching eggs in these older games, it's a little mind-numbing. Because like in the modern games, you can hatch eggs much quicker, especially if you have like a Pokemon in the front of your party with Incinerate, or whatever the ability is. I know there's a specific ability that helps you hatch eggs faster. For example, I used to use Chandelure all the time to hatch eggs faster. But in these older games, egg hatching is... oh, it can be rough. I don't know if I would call it more or less boring than like what we're doing right now. But something about egg hatching, it's oftentimes like one of my least favorite shiny hunts. Maybe because it's so repetitive. That sounds silly to say out loud. Obviously, every shiny hunt is repetitive. Just for some reason, egg hunting feels more repetitive for me. I don't know why. Gen 3 eggs are evil. You know, I know that egg hunting in the older games is more tedious, but why do you call them evil? That's such a funny word to use. Just straight up evil. Found another streamer trying that the other day. I advised him good luck and told him my time. Yeah. I know that this is going to be probably one of the most difficult, time-consuming series I've ever done on live. But as long as we can get through Charizard, I think the rest of these shinies are going to be easier. For example, the next shiny hunt we're doing after Charmander is going to be at the game corner. With the game corner, you can buy like 50 or potentially 80 Abra at one time, depending on which copy of the game you're on. I don't remember which is which, but like on Fire Red or Leaf Green, one of them's 50, one of them's 80. Regardless, that's still like at least 50 Pokemon you're cycling through in one reset, which is so good. So I think I'm going to rely heavily on the game corner in order to get some of my shinies, because it'll just be so much faster. And also, like, some of the shinies that you can get at the game corner are really sick. Like, I love Abra and Alakazam more specifically as a Pokemon, and I also like a shiny a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to those shiny hunts much more than I am presently looking forward to this shiny hunt we're doing right now. HM Slave Dragonite is pretty powerful. It's so funny you say that, because one of the alternates I have for this series is Dragonite. And again, I have multiple options of what I want to shiny hunt. There's like my primary options and then kind of backup options, and Dragonite is one of those backup options. And it would probably end up being my HM Slave too. Because like I don't think I would want to make Alakazam my HM Slave. That boy he's too sweet. He's too sweet to be held down by 4 HMs. And he's far too good of a special attacker. And the resets for it's not bad. Flame Body. Yes, 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 yes. That's what I was thinking of. Flame Body. That's the ability that helps you hatch eggs faster, which I abuse. I use and abuse that in the modern games. But I'm pretty sure in these older games, there's nothing like that. Unless I'm mistaken. Maybe there's like an item that helps hatch eggs faster. But yeah. Also, you need to have different language ditto for Masuda method. That's true. Which I do not have for like these games. Which would make the egg process even more tedious. So I don't know. I don't know if I would ever do an egg hunt. On these games, at least. Dragonite's good for Surf, Strength, Fly, Rock Smash, and Cut. I know. It's so perfect, you know? That's why it's one of my alternates, depending on like what shinies I want to do or don't want to do, or like kind of depending on where we're at in the game. Dragonite would be like a perfect shiny. It's also a really cool shiny. I know a lot of people make fun of Generation 1 shinies because a lot of them are just green. They just turn green. But like one of my favorite colors is green. So I'm not really going to complain, I'll be honest. It doesn't bother me at all. Excuse me, sorry. Oh my god. I couldn't find my water bottle for a second. It was sitting right next to me and I didn't see it. Alright, I love having facial hair. Don't get me wrong. I think I look much better with a beard than without one. But the one thing I hate is like, I take a sip of my water here, and water just gets stuck in my mustache. Just droplets of water, I can feel them on the tip of my mustache, and I hate it. Hate it so much. Sorry, that was like a completely unrelated rant to what we're talking about right now. Oh, it's funny. But yeah. It would also be really cool if we got the shiny like today or tomorrow, because I also plan on streaming this tomorrow night. Because then I would have like an entire week to grind the games up to the point where we unlock the game corner. So that'd be really cool. Give me a lot of time to like grind and play each game. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have much high hopes. I don't expect anything until we hit 8,000. After that, I start to get a little antsy, and I start to like expect the game to give me a shiny, as if I've earned it. Which I know is not true, but you know, if a miracle wants to happen, and the game wants to give me really, really good luck, and give me the shiny like right now, then that would make my life so much easier. 100%. Yeah. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the game corner shiny hunts. I think they're going to be something really fun, and also something different. Like a shiny hunt I've never done before. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Also, just the thought of being able to obtain at least 50 Pokemon at a time, upwards of 80 Pokemon at a time, just... It sounds too good to be true. It sounds like a beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, I can't think of anything else that would make me more happy, other than like maybe when I got married. But outside of that, I don't know, man. That's a tough ask. Not much else would compare. All right. What are we at so far? Almost 200 resets today. Not bad. We're an hour in. Not bad at all. Especially if I start to like pick up the pace and move at a little bit of a faster rate, we can really start banging out some resets here. There's just something about like chill Pokemon music that really soothes my soul. Like I can kind of just sit back, sway in the wind, and I just feel calm. Love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, you know what I still need to do? I was supposed to do this yesterday. I still need to buy both a costume for Halloween and a costume for the Renaissance Fair. And I might use the same costume for both, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want to go as like a Final Fantasy character. I think it'd be really cool to dress up as like a black mage for Final Fantasy. Specifically like a character like Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. Vivi just looks sick. But I don't know how easily you'd be able to replicate that look. Because the whole thing is like his face is just a shadow. It's just like darkness. And all you can see are like two glowing eyes from that darkness. And I feel like that would be really difficult to replicate. Also, maybe a little controversial. You know, I'm not going to try and put on some fucking blackface. Jesus Christ. But one thing you could try to do, and like something I thought about, is like create a mask out of like black felt or like a black like kind of fabric material, and then put two LEDs where your eyes would be that glow through the fabric. But that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. And I don't know if I'm that dedicated to looking like Vivi from Final Fantasy. At the very least, I don't know if I care enough about like dressing up for Halloween and dressing up for the Ren Fair as a 27-year-old man that I'm going to create a costume like that. Because again, it's a lot of work. When I could just easily buy a costume off like Amazon or go to like Spirit Halloween. We'll see. I'm considering it. I could probably find like Final Fantasy themed costumes on Amazon that would be way cheaper and require me to put in zero work in building my own costume. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. See, my wife wants me to just go as like a green knight because the costume she's wearing is green. She wants me to match her. But like a knight is not really my aesthetic, you know? It's not really my vibe. I feel like I'm not really the knight archetype. But I do like the color green, so I wouldn't hate it. I'm also super excited because, as I said earlier, tomorrow is going to be the day where I attach this capture card I bought to my 3DS. So, I don't think I said this earlier, therefore I should probably give you all a little bit more detail. The capture card I purchased, you have to physically solder it onto the 3DS's board. You're basically like attaching a modification to the back of the 3DS, and my soldering skills are not very good. I've soldered before, but it's been a while, admittedly. And when I used to solder things, specifically, I did like for a very short period of time work creating these little electronic devices. When I would solder, my soldering wasn't as clean as like a manufacturer or someone who's been doing it for years. Like if you look at an electronic board and you flip it over and look at the soldering on the back, it's usually like very small pinpoint solders, like perfectly rounded, perfectly shaped. Mine were very rarely that clean. They looked a little bit more, how do you say? They looked like they had warts. Oh my god, I shouldn't laugh. Coughing. Oh shoot. These two are not even on yet. They're still on the menu screen. The title screen. So, I'm a little nervous trying to solder a capture card onto my 3DS. And therefore, my plan is to go back home, visit my parents for the afternoon. And my dad, who has like almost 40 years of soldering experience, is going to help me do it. Because I don't want to break this capture card that I spent $120 on, nor do I want to break my 3DS that I spent $180 on. Like, I want to make sure that it's done properly, and, you know, at the end of it all, we can actually screen record a 3DS. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm a little nervous, but like I said, hopefully with my dad's help and his expertise, it'll go flawlessly tomorrow. And after tomorrow, we'll have a working 3DS with a capture card attached. Now again, that doesn't mean that when I come home tomorrow night, I'm going to immediately start live streaming my 3DS. I have way too many games I'm playing right now. I'm playing like at least 4 games right now. Because we just started playing Sonic Cross Worlds yesterday. And don't be wrong, I love Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. It might be one of my favorite racing games of all time. But I can also admit that adding a new game to my rotation might be a silly decision because I'm already playing so many other games. Because on top of Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, I'm also doing a series in Minecraft where I'm trying to get to the Far Lands, which admittedly I have not played in a while. Because I'm playing so many other games. We're playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. And we're doing the Shiny Hunting series. So I have like 4 different live stream series going on right now, which is way too much, especially when 2 of those series, specifically the Minecraft one and this Shiny Hunt, those 2 series are very long, tedious, grind heavy series. Like, that content is just grinding over and over and over again, day after day after day. So again, even though I should have a 3DS with a capture card tomorrow, it might be a couple weeks until we actually start live streaming 3DS games. Or maybe I'll, like, you know, what button did I press? Why is this not working? Did I like break it? I don't know. This one won't do anything. It's just stuck. I don't want to turn it off. But it froze. Let's run it back, I guess. That was so weird. Hey, what's up, what's up? How you doing? That was so weird. It just froze. Alright, let's see if we can get this working this time. I'm a little worried that this is going to just be garbage. That was your shiny? I know. That's why I didn't want to turn the system off. I didn't want to reset without seeing what the Pokemon was. Okay, well, it's not shiny now. Unlucky. We're at 2220 as far as resets go. Fun. That's such a bummer, bro. I think that's the first time in this series we've had a system just freeze. Completely soft lock itself. I don't know. Still, oh my gosh. My nose is so stuffy right now. I feel like I sound completely different. Oh shoot. I don't know. I go back and forth between whether or not I should be streaming when I'm sick, or if I should not be streaming when I'm sick. Because, like, On top of the stuffy nose and the scratchy voice, like, my head hurts a lot, which is making it difficult just to successfully play 4 games at once. I know, crazy thought. When you're sick, you're not going to be as successful playing 4 games at once. I mean, I'm barely able to play 4 games at once when I'm healthy. I'm constantly pressing the wrong buttons and making mistakes. But, like, now that I'm sick, I feel like that is just 10 times worse. I don't know, bro. It's rough out here. It's a little rough out here. At least we got good music in the background to keep us somewhat sane. The music, I love some chill Pokemon music. Like, Pokemon music, Final Fantasy has some really good music. There are just some game franchises out there that have beautiful soundtracks. Sometimes when I'm driving to work, I'll play like a Mario Kart soundtrack, just because those songs are also really good, and they also kind of like hype you up. You know, if you're tired driving to work, listen to some Mario Kart and you'll be awake by the time you get there. And it also feels like you're playing Mario Kart as you drive. How do you think I crashed my car? That's a joke. That is a joke. Funnily enough, when I got in my car crash, I was listening to a podcast. Unlucky. And almost embarrassingly, it's more embarrassing to admit this. It was a Survivor podcast. A podcast about the game show Survivor. Oh, Lord. It's so sad to admit that. But yeah. I think we're probably going to end the stream at about 2,500 resets today. Maybe 2,400 if I don't feel better. Because I don't want to just keep streaming while sick. You know, I don't want to force it. But at the very least, I do want to get to 2,500. Because it's such a good, like, clean stopping point. Definitely gonna have to blow my nose here again in a second. Give me one. I just hit my head on the tripod. God dang it. That hurt a little bit. Alright. No! My paper towels have fallen over. God dang it. Stay. Oh my lord. Alright. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we're shiny hunting, boys. Who would have guessed? Surprise to us all. But yeah, I'm very excited for this 3DS capture card. I think it's gonna look sick to finally be able to live stream 3DS and DS games. I don't know, man. I'm so excited. And there's so many 3DS and DS games that I own that I've never been able to, like, record or live stream before. It's gonna really broaden the horizons, like open up the amount of content we can make and the different games we can play, like, almost twofold. I feel like we're gonna have so many different options now of what games we can play. I'm very excited about that. And like I said earlier, I think the most exciting thing about it is with this new capture card, I will be able to live stream literally every Nintendo console. Like, I'm able to stream every Nintendo console otherwise. And I don't know, man. I'm so excited. If I want to play the SNES, I can play the SNES. If I want to play the GameCube, We got the GameCube now. If I want to live stream a Game Boy game, I can live stream it with the GameCube. And then here soon, if I want to play DS or 3DS, we'll have the DS or 3DS capture card ready to go. Very, very excited. We're halfway there, though, and we're only an hour 20 in. That's not bad. I think if I just keep focusing up, like I said, I've made a couple mistakes here and there, pressed the wrong buttons a couple times. If I can stop making mistakes, this shouldn't be too bad. We can get to 2,500 without, you know, taking too long or getting too much worse as far as my sickness is concerned on stream. Excuse me. You know what would suck though? Is if I get the shiny when I'm in the middle of coughing or sneezing. So, you know, maybe it's okay if I don't get the shiny today. Because it wouldn't be the best content if I catch the shiny when I'm sick. Catch the shiny the same way I caught this cold. Like, my reaction would probably be so bad. The shiny just appears on screen, and I try to, like, yell in excitement, instead I just start coughing. That's okay, though. You know, I'll be happy no matter when I get the shiny. I say that now, but then we're going to end up getting the shiny after, like, 20,000 resets, and I'm going to want to murder myself. I'll be happy as long as we get the shiny before 10,000 resets. That's what I'll say. That's the caveat. As long as it doesn't take 10,000 resets, then I'll be happy. I'm expecting 20,000 for me. I mean, I really hope not. I would feel so bad for you if it took 20,000 resets and you're doing that single reset each. Aww. Someone got muted by Automod because they're trying to sell me followers. I don't want to buy your dumbass followers. Leave me alone. Can I block them? Oh, they're already banned. Wow, Automod just banned them immediately. Good for you. Stop trying to sell me followers. I don't have the money, and even if I did, you think I would have bought them by now? I've been live streaming for 10 years. If I wanted followers that bad, I would have bought them 8 years ago. Cool. Oh, man. I keep talking about trying to move quickly, but I think it's difficult for me because I'm sick. Everything is like moving in slow motion. My gameplay is moving in slow motion. My like commentary is much slower. I'm like seeing things in slow motion. Everything looks blurry right now. The chat messages come in slow motion. I don't know if it's because I'm sick or hallucinating, but I swear when I see you guys type chat messages, I'm watching you actually type them letter for letter. They don't just pop up as a message. No, I'm watching you type I-M. I'm right there with you. I am mentally with you. Astrologically, you know? I'm astral projecting right now. It's not a headache that I have. It's just the side effect of astral projection. Also, I specifically put on a playlist of chill Pokemon music. And Driftville City is the opposite of chill. Don't get me wrong. It's a good song. This is a bop. I'm vibing right now, but this is not chill music. That's so funny. Who made this playlist, bro? Again, I'm never gonna complain about Driftville City. It's great. It just seems a little out of place, you know? Like, like you boot up a playlist called Sad Pokemon Music, and halfway through, Driftville City just starts playing. It'd be so funny. We love Driftville City. I remember walking across that bridge for the first time. Yeah. Dude, I think that might be the thing I'm most excited to do with this new capture card, is play Pokemon Black and White, specifically Black and White 2. But like, Unova has such a special place in my heart, and the fact that I've never been able to make a YouTube video about it or a live stream playing it almost makes me sad. Like, that's my favorite game of all time. It is number one in my heart, in my rankings, in my soul. Unova is number one, and the fact that I have zero content about it, it's heartbreaking. But you know, that'll change soon. Soon enough, that won't be the case. Yeah, you should single hunt Tepig or something. You're so right. Yeah, I should. I heard it's a good idea. Well, you know, it's funny because I think eventually, and I'm talking like years down the line, but one of the things I would like to do in my lifetime is shiny hunt every region of Pokemon. Now, I gotta clarify that I mean region, because if I say I want to shiny hunt every Pokemon game, that's a little too broad. It's gonna make people think that I want to shiny hunt quite literally every game. Red, blue, green, yellow, silver, gold. Like, I'm not doing that. But I would like to, for every region, play a shiny only, you know, playthrough of that region. So we're doing it in the Kanto region with Fire Red and Leaf Green. I would like to do the Johto region with Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I think for Hoenn, it would just be smartest if I did Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire. But then, as we get up to Unova, once we want to play Unova, there's no game so far that has been released that makes shiny hunting easier in Unova, the way that, like, Heart Gold and Soul Silver is way easier to shiny hunt than the original Gold and Silver. So if I want to shiny hunt in the Unova region, I'm probably going to have to do a single hunt of Tepig and reset over and over and over again if I want to beat that game with shinies only. It's going to be a grind. But again, that's like, I'm talking years down the line. That's something we won't have to do for a while. So I don't need to worry about it quite yet. I don't really got to think about it yet. And I don't have to go through the pain of doing that yet. The same way you are actively going through that pain right now. You know, I want to say that I'm thankful I'm not in your shoes, but I probably will be in a couple years, so I shouldn't make jokes. I shouldn't be making jokes. Alright. What are we at, by the way? Oh, we're over halfway done. Nice, nice, nice. I feel like, though, it really does feel like I'm moving in slow motion, though. It felt like an hour ago I was at 2240, and now we're at 2264. Oh no, boys. I might be hallucinating. Was it the Union Bridge? I know Union Bridge is one of them. I can't remember if that's the one that leads to Driftville City, though. I can't remember. But, like, the bridge music in Black and White is so good, too. It's such a, like, chill, relaxing vibe. I love that bridge that you cross going into Castelia City. It's such a, like, intense moment. It really hypes up just how huge that city is. And it really hypes up the moment of you entering this giant city center. Oh man, I love it. Those games are just so beautiful. Alright. Also, if we did get the shiny today, I don't know what we would do tomorrow. Because my plan is to shiny hunt tomorrow. If we get the shiny hunt today, like, if we catch the shiny today, I'm definitely not going to have time between today and tomorrow to play 4 games up into the point where I'm at the game corner. We'd have to definitely reschedule tomorrow's live stream. Maybe we would start single resetting and shiny hunting Tepic. Maybe that's what we would do instead. Why not, you know? Could be fun. Alright. Also, I'm pretty sure that person has been gone for a while now, so I'm safe to talk about this. Because I didn't want to be an asshole to their face. But I'm not fucking buying digital art. That's my least favorite fucking thing. Like, oh, it gets me so annoyed. My least favorite thing about live streaming, specifically, it's most common on Twitch. If you're like a small streamer around my size, where you only have a couple people in the chat, sometimes you have no one in the chat. You'll get these new chatters, and you get excited because like, oh, it's a new chatter. And then they're like, hey, can I make art for you? Or do you want to buy emotes? Do you want to buy new Twitch panels? Fuck off! No, leave me alone. And you're right, half of them aren't even real. They're scammers. They're just trying to get your social. They're trying to get your dick information. Sorry. I don't know if anyone recognizes that meme. I don't know if anyone else even knows about that meme, but I think it's one of my favorite memes of all time, bro. They're trying to steal my dick information. Yeah, no, fuck off. Leave me alone. I don't ban them immediately, because I have met one real person who was like an artist, and they weren't like trying to scam or trying to sell me something. They just genuinely like wanted to show me their art, and they're actually a really cool person. Like, I still talk to them today. I'd consider them like one of my online friends. So I've met like one person that was cool, that showed up in my chat telling me they were an artist, but the other 99% are either trying to sell you something or trying to scam you, or they're a bot, and I hate it. It makes me so mad. When I see them pop up in my chat, I just get filled with rage. And I think it's because, like, you know, I am a smaller streamer. So when a new person shows up in the chat, it's kind of a rare moment for me. It's an exciting moment for me. And when that excitement, when that feeling of joy turns into just pure rage because I realize they're not a real chatter, it makes me 10 times more angry than if they would just show up in my chat and start, like, spamming slurs. Like, no, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want your shitty art. I had one last year where they were cool at first, but then they started hounding me on Discord and Twitch, started guilt tripping me into buying art. See, I've had that kind of happen as well. I usually don't add them on Discord, but I've had ones, again, because I don't block them, who show up in my chat repeatedly and try to like guilt trip me into buying their art. And it's like, bro, the guilt tripping doesn't work on me. Like, you can tell me whatever sob story you want about how like your dog killed your mom and now your dog's dying too, and you've never known who your father was. I don't care. Like, my life sucks too. Like, you're not gonna win me over with this guilt-tripping bullshit. And even if you did, I don't have the money for your shitty art. I barely have the money to afford my bills. You think I'm gonna, you know, try to squeeze your art into my budget? Fuck no, leave me alone. Like, dog, what are we talking about here? It's so annoying when they try to like go down that guilt trip route with you. Like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to feed my 3 children. Then you shouldn't have had 3 children. Condoms exist. Not my problem. Like, oh my god, I hate them. I hate them so much. Like, crazy thought. If you can't afford to do something, you don't get to do it. Like, that's kind of the rule of thumb with being poor. Like, oh, I can't afford to go on a cruise. How sad. But then you'll get people, I know people like this, where they're like, I can't afford to go on a cruise, but I'm going to do it anyway and just go into debt. My brother in Christ, if you can't afford to go on a cruise, I hate to break it to you, but you just don't get to go on a cruise. Like, that's the life I live every day. Why are we taking out loans to go on a cruise? And I realize I'm getting a little bit off topic now, but like, that's how some of these guilt trip chatters act. Like, they'll come into your chat and be like, oh, I can't afford McDonald's for my kid. Can you help me out? No. I can't afford McDonald's either. Sucks, doesn't it? You know, it just makes me so mad. They might be my least favorite type of chatter. I think I hate those types of chatters more than I hate the people who show up in your chat and just like type slurs. Because at least you can easily ban them. And it's way less time out of my day. It's way less irritation in my mind. They shouldn't be emergency feeding kids McDonald's anyhow. Yeah. That's what I think's so funny. Oh my god. Like, I don't know, man. I just think it's so funny. Oh no, did my stream lag? Hold up, wait me 1 sec. Hopefully my stream's still going. I can't tell. Okay, I think my stream's still going. I saw it lag for a second. See, I normally don't have my live stream pulled up, but for some reason my Twitch chat wasn't working at the beginning of the stream, so I just pulled up my stream so I could read the chat, you know, from my live stream. And I saw it lag for a second. I got real scared. Almost at 2,300. Yeah, I don't know, man. And like, going back to that chatter earlier, they got like aggressive about it. Like, let me read up, or scroll up in the chat and read it. Oh my god, I can't scroll that far up in the chat. It's so far ago. Okay, I found it. They said, do you have Insta? I didn't respond within 60 seconds, and they repeated it. I'm saying, do you have Insta? Please drop your Insta in the chat. A couple minutes later, they say, I have sent you my portfolio. Can you please have a look at it? Literally, not even a minute goes by. Are you listening to me? And I just like, I low-key just lied and said, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not buying anything, but sure. And they said, all right, you check it, question mark? No, I'm not checking your fucking portfolio. I'm not looking at your art portfolio on Instagram. Because I know there's about a 50-50 chance if I do that, that, next thing I know, my entire computer has been bricked. And I've allowed a sneaky little virus to steal my dick information. Sorry, I don't know why I keep making that joke. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm having too much fun today. I shouldn't be having fun when I'm sick and poor. You're not allowed to have fun when you're poor. That's the whole point of this conversation. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm joking. Oh my god, I should not be laughing though, because I keep coughing. Alright, we're at 2,300. Desperate. Yeah, it was very desperate chat messages, which, like, you know, you come off as annoying. Like, you are not a fun person to talk to. That's the whole reason I like streaming. I love talking to people, having fun conversations, and like, you know, just kind of shooting the shit with people in the chat. And you're ruining the vibe, dog. They also, and this is going to sound selfish of me to say, they didn't even follow me. They just showed up in the chat, acted like an impatient brat, and left. And they didn't even follow me, dog. Like, disrespectful is what that is. My girlfriend's an artist. She would never beg to make art for people. She lets her art speak for itself. Exactly. And you know, there's nothing wrong with promoting your art. Just do it in the correct places. Like, a Twitch chat is not the place to do that. Like, go post pictures on Instagram or Reddit or Twitter, and people will naturally show up and support you if your art is good. Now, I'm not going to say, like, it's a guarantee. It is a little bit luck-based. The same way live streaming is luck-based, you know? You'll get people who live stream for, like, 2 months, and they blow up. And the same types of people will live stream for 2 years and never have a single viewer. And, again, oftentimes the people who do get viewership are the more entertaining people. Like, it's not just luck. There is a little bit of skill involved. You have to, you know, be entertaining and be active with your chat. But at the same time, it is luck-based. Like, you could be the most entertaining, communicative, just, like, entertaining streamer of all time. And there's a chance you're not getting viewers, because that's just how the Twitch algorithm works. Sorry. It is very luck-based. So I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but, like, if you make good art and you put yourself out there in the proper avenues, you'll get attention accordingly. Like, if you put yourself out there appropriately, if you get lucky, you'll get that attention back. I can get behind your logic. I'm glad. Because I don't want to come off as, like, a dick, you know? I'm not trying to come across as this guy who just, like, doesn't care. Boo-hoo. Don't care about your sob story. But, like, I think part of the reason I have that mentality is because, you know, I am someone who could easily try to guilt trip people into watching me or supporting me. Like, come on, guys. I've been live streaming for a decade. I've been on Twitch for 10 years. And it's not my full-time job yet. Who gives a fuck? Boo-hoo. Like, that's why I have a real job. And this is like a little passion project. And, you know, maybe one day it'd be cool if this would be my full-time job. Like, that would be the dream. But I'm not gonna go into other streamers' chats and be like, guys, can you watch me too? Can you follow me too? I put in a lot of hard work. No, that's fucking cringe. That's embarrassing. Sorry. I don't know why I'm getting so angry. Maybe it's because I'm sick. Maybe I'm just already upset because I don't feel well. But, oh my god, it just annoys me. I was gonna clown on him, but I didn't want to start an argument. And, you know, I appreciate that, because you were the only other person, sorry. You were the only other person in the chat when that individual showed up. And I was just trying to, again, like, give them the most vague non-answers so they would go away. Or just straight up tell them no. Like, when they asked me to check out their portfolio on Instagram, I was like, you know, I'm not buying anything, so. But then when they asked me, like, do you want my art? No. And so far, besides blocking them, those seem to be the best 2 ways of handling that type of situation. Like, I just try to be straight up honest with them. I'm not buying your art. And if they try to push any more beyond that, you're going to start getting one-word, vague answers. We're both going to be bored in this conversation. I'm just going to make you bored until you leave me alone. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's frustrating. You definitely handled it well. I appreciate that. And then, like I said, I appreciate you for being there and not interacting with them. I think I would have been more annoyed if I didn't have any other chatters there, but because you were there, I at least had someone normal to talk to. And I could kind of ignore that person. Shiny hunting and failing is super disappointing. A slight fit of rage is acceptable. You know, you're right. That's the mentality I should have. I'm allowed one fit of rage every shiny hunting live stream. You know, I'll take it a step further. I'm allowed one fit of rage every live stream. That's my God-given right. I mean, that's how I used to be, bro. I used to be a very, like, rage gamer type personality, especially when I first started live streaming 10 years ago. Like 2016, 2017, 2018. I had a very rage gamer type of persona on Twitch. And I think part of the reason I did it is because, like, my viewers back then thought it was funny. So I would just rage a lot on stream. And I look back on it with a lot of cringe. Like, I don't like watching my old live streams back for that exact reason. But again, I think because a lot of my viewers thought it was funny, I played into it to a point where it became too much. And I'm glad to say that I don't really do that much anymore. Like, I'll still rage sometimes if something, like, really, really frustrating happens. But I'm not, like, yelling. And I'm also not, like, mean. I used to be really mean when I played, like, online games. And, you know, it's embarrassing to admit this, but I'm an honest person. So, I'm more than happy being honest about it. Like, if I played an online shooter game and my teammates were just terrible, I would be a dick to them. Like, I would tell them that they're playing terribly, which is not helpful. Like, telling someone that they suck at a game isn't going to magically make them better. So, I definitely regret that. I look back at that with a lot of cringe as well. And thankfully, I don't do that anymore. Again, I'll still get mad. Like, if I'm playing a shooter game and I die in a stupid way, I can, you know, get mad. But I don't yell anymore about it. And I don't, like... I'm not mean to people anymore, which I think is the biggest growth I've had in my time live streaming. The biggest way I've matured as a person is I don't, like, just verbally assault strangers in an online video game anymore. And I'll admit, like, I had some viewers who I don't think watch me anymore because they liked that type of, like, rage gamer content. Like, some of my viewers thought it was so funny. And they would, like, make Twitch clips out of it. And I haven't seen some of those viewers in a while. And it's probably because, you know, I matured. And hey, maybe they matured as well. But I also think it's probably because some of the people who liked my rage content don't like my content nowadays. Because it's not me constantly raging at a video game. And that's okay. You know, I'm okay with losing those viewers. Because I don't want to be that type of person anymore. RuneScapers who do that stuff astounds me. Yeah, I was surprised because, you know, I obviously played RuneScape as a kid, like pretty much every kid who had a computer did. Like, I played a little bit of RuneScape growing up, back in, like, middle school, but I hadn't played it for almost a decade. And then I recently got back into it for a little bit. And by that I mean I played it for, like, 2 days in 2024. But after taking, like, a year... Oh my god, not a year. Let me restart that sentence. After not playing RuneScape for, like, 10 years, when I tried playing it last year, I was kind of surprised at just how toxic the community was. Because sure, like, back in the day when I was a kid, like, you had those people that would try to, like, scam you. And, like, get your username and password information from you. But, like... You know, that was the normal. Nowadays, I feel like the community has gotten, like, I don't know, just significantly worse. It's not that bad. Don't be wrong, it's not like World of Warcraft. I feel like World of Warcraft, dude, the WoW community has gotten so so bad over the years. Some of those players are unbearable. But I was kind of I was sad to see that similar things that happened with RuneScape. It's just moving on and maturing. Yeah, yeah. And I'm happy to say that I've done that. Because I think if I was still the same, like, rage gamer I was 10 years ago, that would be almost more embarrassing. That would definitely be more embarrassing. If I had, you know, been live streaming on Twitch for 10 years, like I currently am, and I haven't grown or matured at all, that's a yikes. The good old, did you know RuneScape censors your password if you type in a chat? That's a classic. That's a classic right there, brothers. Oh, shoot. This one is not working. The classic blow on the cartridge method. Classic give the cartridge a blowjob strategy. Works every time. Works like a charm, boys. Happened to a friend a long time ago in WoW, I think. Yeah. There was a kid in my middle school who he spent hours in RuneScape. Like, he poured his life into that game. And he got his account stolen from him. But, you know, it's not a completely sad story, because there was another kid in my my middle school who he must have been like a young businessman. He had that business mindset, that grind set, as they say. Because he would take RuneScape accounts and level them up and then sell them to people. And when my one friend got his account hacked, he ended up buying an account from this other kid in my middle school. So he didn't have to start completely from scratch, but I still felt bad for him. And again, a lot of my friend group played RuneScape in middle school. I got into it a little bit, but I wasn't as addicted as like everyone else in my friend group, sorry. Like everyone else in my friend group was putting hundreds, if not thousands of hours into RuneScape. I played for a little bit and then stopped. Funnily enough, the MMO I played the most growing up was like Mabinogi. I loved Mabinogi. It was specifically because like one of my best friends played Mabinogi. So she got me into it, and we would play Mabinogi together. But I just wasn't really like an MMO type of kid. Like, I don't know. I played a little bit of RuneScape. I played a little bit of MapleStory as well. But otherwise, like, I didn't really play a lot of the, like, stereotypical MMOs. Like, I've never played WoW. Never played, like, Wizards 101. That was a really popular one in my school. And I just think MMOs never really appealed to me because growing up, I loved a good, like, single-player story-based game. I loved a good Final Fantasy or Legend of Zelda. And the concept of MMOs and, like, having to grind, like, put thousands of hours into a game, and you still technically haven't finished the game, that was a little too overwhelming for me as a kid. I couldn't justify doing it. And also, like I said, like, it just didn't make sense to me as a kid when you thought about it, like, mathematically. Like, for me at least, my mindset growing up was, why would I put thousands of hours into Mabinogi when I could spend those thousands of hours playing, like, 100 different video games on my DS? You know? And don't be wrong, sometimes I still get little bursts of nostalgia, and I want to go back and play those games. Like I said, after taking about 10 years off of RuneScape, I played it for a little bit last year. And same with Mabinogi. Like, I'll usually go back and play Mabinogi once or twice a year. But like I said, it just hasn't stuck with me. It's not a game that I'm playing every single day. Alright, let's get it. Speaking of, I was making a joke earlier about listening to a playlist of super sad Pokemon music on live. Just live streaming the saddest songs ever. But I was joking about it. For some reason, this song just appeared. This is supposed to be a playlist of chill Pokemon music. Don't know why they threw a literal song of heartbreak on that playlist. Whoever made this is an insane person. They're trying to get me to cry on live stream. I've only ever done that once before. Alright? Not trying to double that number from 1 to 2. And also, the one time I did cry on stream, it wasn't really like a full-on bawling my eyes out cry. I was just tearing up. For further context, it was when I played the game What Remains of Edith Finch, which to this day is still probably the saddest video game I've ever played. And I've played a lot of them, you know? Unwavering Hearts is so sad. Yeah, it is. This is such a sad song. Like I said, it gets me tearing up. But going back to what I was saying, I've played a lot of sad games. One of the ones I think about sometimes, because a lot of my friends recommended I play it, and they all said it was so sad. And like a lot of YouTubers who played it, they all like cried at the ending. Was, what is it called? Why can I not think about it? Oh my god. I just started this whole story and now my story has been completely derailed. Just put on pause while I try to think of what this game's called. Give me one moment. Looking it up should only take me like 10 seconds. Oh, never mind. It might take me longer. I can't find it. What is wrong with me? Oh my god, I found it. Okay. I got really worried for a second that I was never going to find it and I was just going to look like an idiot on stream. The game I'm talking about. This game that everyone said was so sad and all these Twitch streamers and YouTubers were crying after they played it. It's called Before Your Eyes. I played Before Your Eyes. I low-key thought the story was stupid. I thought it was so dumb. And I don't want to like spoil it for anyone who's not played it yet, so just mute. Oh my god. Mute the stream for like the next 2-3 minutes. But to talk about spoilers, the whole premise of that game, like the story, is that you're playing as this kid who gets really sick. And you're like playing through his life. And you have like these friendships that you develop, relationships you develop, and you can pick like his career path. And there are like sad moments that happen, sure, like his mom dies, his dad dies. But the majority of the story is you just playing through this person's life. And then at the end of the game, you find out that he actually died of cancer when he was a child. And he never got to live that life. That's just the life he would have wanted to live. You know, that's the life he would have lived if he didn't die as a kid. And like, everyone, YouTubers, Twitch streamers alike, everyone who played that game would just cry their eyes out at it. And for me, I just thought it was a dumb game. What do you mean? You're telling me that like, the majority of this game I just played wasn't real? It was just a dream? That's literally what it feels like. It feels like that stereotypical plot twist that like every kid wrote in their first ever creative writing class, or like their first ever story. The plot twist of that game is basically, it was all a dream. That makes me care about the game less, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, sure, I guess it's sad that this kid died when he was like a toddler of cancer, but why did I just waste the last 2 hours of my life playing a game where half of the content wasn't real. It had no effect on the story. There's no weight behind it because it's a dream. It's not real. I don't know. Ugh, that game genuinely disappointed me because I thought it was going to be so sad and heartbreaking, and everyone hyped it up as like the best story game of all time and the most emotional game of all time. And it just annoyed me. I don't know, it just made me mad. However, on the contrary, What Remains of Edith Finch is the saddest game I've ever played, and it's the only game that's ever made me cry on stream. Or at the very least, I was tearing up, you know? The tears were falling down my face, but they weren't like shooting out of my eyes. Hey, what's up, Drac? My cousin and I are doing a soul link on Pokemon Shining Pearl. So far, we've lost 4 Pokemon. One was my fault. What do you mean it was not available, though? Oh, do you mean like you couldn't catch it? I'm gonna assume that's what you mean. But does that mean... Sorry, I just want to clarify. Does that mean the other 3 Pokemon you've lost are your cousin's fault? Oh, no. Oh, no. There's a different game like that, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't a dream plot, and I sobbed during it. I have no idea what it's called, though. Yeah, like, I love me a good, sad game. As, like, masochistic as that sounds. I like a game with a good story, and if that story happens to be sad, then even better, because it's difficult to make a sad story in a video game. At the very least, I feel like it's much more difficult to like tell a sad story in a video game compared to like a TV show or a movie or even a book. Because video games are very rarely associated with those types of emotions. But as much as I love a good sad game, a lot of them just don't work. I think for that reason I just explained. There are a couple games that made me pretty sad. And like I said, What Remains of Edith Finch, that one broke me. At certain points. I'm not going to say it's a perfect game. There's like one chapter of that game that I think is stupid. It's silly, but it's stupid. But there were other chapters that completely broke me. So, I don't know. I do love me a good sad game. And there's a couple more that I need to play. There's a couple I have on my Steam library right now that I just haven't gotten around to playing. Funnily enough, Amori is a game that I either have on my Steam library or on my Steam wishlist, and I've been meaning to play that game for a while. I don't know. I think something I would like to try to do better at, just in my life, something I want to try and be better with, is actually playing the games that I have instead of just replaying the same games over and over again. Instead of just playing Counter-Strike for the 10,000th time, or playing Minecraft over and over and over again. As much as I love Minecraft, it's no shade to Minecraft, but like, instead of playing the same games over and over again, I want to try to start playing new games. Yeah, like scrub through my Steam library. The problem is, though, like, when I do decide to play a game for the first time on camera, for example, Pokemon Fire and Leaf Green. Never played this game before. At least, I've never played before on camera. Sorry, I should clarify. But, like, I've never streamed this game before. And my first time streaming it, it's going to be a series that's going to take me possibly thousands of hours. At the very least, hundreds of hours. So that makes it a little difficult to play new games when the one game I'm playing right now it's a grind. And that ultimately is like kind of delaying my ability to play other games, but that's okay. It'll still be worth it when we get the shiny. Everything will be worth it once we get the shiny. It was unavoidable. I lost our starter to a wild Houndoom with counter. I had Monferno and I used Mach Punch. Almost one-shot the Houndoom, but I didn't catch it. Ooh, yeah. That's rough, I will admit. It's very unlucky. Dang, Houndoom would have been a really good Pokemon to catch, too. That's a good Pokemon right there. I found the one I was thinking about. It's called That Dragon Cancer. I think I've heard of that game before. I think it sounds familiar. You know, I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to gaslight you. Just say that I heard it because, you know, I think I've heard it. But I do think, in all honesty, in the deepest parts of my soul, sorry, I don't know why I'm wording it like this. I don't know why I'm being so, like, personable. No. I think I've heard of that game before. I just don't really know anything about it. Alright. We're making good progress, boys. We're 2 hours in. We only have 116 resets left to go. We got this. Alright. I'm trying to focus up. I'm trying to lock in, as the kids would say. Alright. Yeah, I have no idea if it even holds up nowadays. I watched Mark play it 8 years ago. Oh my gosh, 8 years. Maybe that's why I've heard it before, though, because I was definitely subscribed to Markiplier 8 years ago. I'm not subscribed to him right now, and that's not because I dislike him or I, you know, think he's not entertaining. I still think he's very entertaining. I just don't really watch a lot of those types of videos anymore. Especially, like, gaming videos specifically. Like, I don't know. I most commonly on YouTube will watch, like, a 5-hour long video essay or documentary. Yeah, I've also kind of fallen out of that content demographic. Which is a bummer, because there's a lot of, like, OG YouTubers that I was so, like, addicted to watching as a kid. Like, Captain Sparkles, that was, like, my childhood favorite YouTuber. Especially because I loved Minecraft growing up. But, like, I'm also not subscribed to Captain Sparkles anymore. And again, it's not because I think he's a bad person, nor do I think his content is bad. I just, I don't know. It's not my demographic of content. Don't be wrong. There are some YouTubers that I've unsubscribed to because they're, like, terrible people or they make bad content. But I feel like a lot of the times nowadays, if I unsubscribe to someone, it's just because, like, their videos are not really my cup of tea anymore now that I'm an adult. Eight-hour Morrowind retrospective is where my YouTube is at. Yeah, that sounds like a great video, brother. That sounds like a 10 out of 10 video. I have a very long drive to work, so I'll oftentimes, like, play long YouTube videos on my drive to work, home from work, and then to work the next day. There was one I watched recently. It was a YouTube essay split into 2 parts, and both parts were about 3 to 4 hours each. So in total, it was about 6 to 8 hours of content. And it was just a video essay of, like, almost everyone who's ever died in the Grand Canyon and, like, how they died. And, like, those videos helped my drive to work fly by. Like I said, my drive to work is really long and sometimes very boring. But those videos made it feel like 2 minutes. It was so much fun. Alright. What is the plan here? Got about 100 left. Do we think we get the shiny? I don't have high hopes. That's so crazy. Yeah, Alexa, it was a great video, though. It was very entertaining to watch. Or, like, I've been watching a lot of Scott the Woz videos. on my drives to work lately, because especially on his second channel. Sorry, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh, excuse me. On his second channel specifically, he'll upload like hour-long videos just going over like every game that's ever been made for the Wii U. And normally I like wouldn't watch that if I'm at home playing a game, or like if I'm eating dinner, I wouldn't watch that. But something about watching those videos on the drive to work, they're perfect, especially because you don't really have to like watch them. You can just listen to them. It's so perfect for my drives to work. So yeah, I do love some of those types of videos. Like the Scott the Woz video he made recently about the Game Boy Player attachment for the GameCube was the way I found out about the Game Boy Player. Like, I didn't know about that before. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose again. Give me 1 sec. You know, every time I blow my nose, I think there's no way I'll ever have to blow my nose again, because the amount of just, how do I word this nicely? I don't think there is a way to word it nicely. The amount of fluid that just left my nose is enough for a lifetime. I won't have to blow my nose again for another fiscal year. And then about 15, 30 minutes later, the same thing happens again. I don't know what I'm sick with right now. I don't know if it's just a normal, like, cold. It feels worse. And I hate it. And I'm so sorry, again, that I have to, like, mute my mic and duck out of the camera. But it's because I just don't want you to see me expelling demons from my body. It lets your mind explore while you keep your attention on the road. Exactly. Because, like, obviously, when I'm home or eating dinner, I'll put on a more exciting video than just Scott the Woz talking about every Wii U game for 2 hours. But exciting videos aren't very good for driving, because it's just going to distract you from driving. You're going to want to, like, look at the screen. Or if you have your phone turned off, you're going to feel like you're missing out because you can't see what is on the screen. So, like, those types of videos, like long YouTube essays or documentaries or a Scott the Woz video, those are perfect for my drives to and from work. I love it. I'm really hoping I feel better by tomorrow, but I also said that yesterday and the day before that. But I don't want to continuously be sick on stream. I feel like it makes the content worse. But like, I've been sleeping a lot. I've been trying to rest. I'm eating soup. I've had soup like 3 days in a row, bro. And so far, I have yet to feel better. In fact, it's just gotten worse like every day. But at the same time, that means surely, totally, it's gonna have to start getting better soon, right? I can't just keep getting worse every day. Right, guys? Right? That's why I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, but I don't drive too far anymore. Yeah, I also used to listen to a lot of podcasts. The problem is, I would either get bored sometimes with certain podcasts, or a lot of the podcasts I used to listen to just got, like, discontinued. Like, I used to listen to the Chuckle Sandwich podcast, and now it doesn't exist anymore. Or, like, other podcasts I used to listen to, they aren't that good anymore. Because, let's be honest, once someone has made, like, 200, 300 episodes of an hour-long podcast, what new can they really say? You know? Like, you've already spoken about things you believe in or things you have an opinion on for 300 hours worth of content. Eventually, you're going to run out of things to talk about. Like, I feel like a lot of podcasters hit that limit. So, I don't listen to podcasts much anymore when I drive. It's usually like a YouTube video essay, a YouTube documentary, or something along those lines. It's funny to think that when I do 25 attempts every 30 minutes, you get 100 attempts done. See, you're probably a lot more efficient than I am, though, because again, I struggle to successfully play 4 games at once. And I'm also constantly making mistakes. And I'm also like talking with the chat, so I'm not moving super, super quickly. At least I'm not moving as fast as I could if I was like just locked in doing this off camera. But I will say 25 resets every 30 minutes is not bad, especially for the starters in black and white. Like, you're moving at a pretty good pace. All right. Also, something I've made comments about the last couple times I've done these shiny hunting live streams is how like my back starts to hurt because I'm like leaning over my desk and trying to like lean into these 4 systems at once. And also like I kind of have to lean at a weird angle because my tripod is sitting right here, just out of frame. So I can't sit straight in front of the consoles. Anyways, if you've watched any of my shiny hunting live streams for this game, you would have heard me at least once complain about how my back hurts. If not more than once. You've probably heard me complain about it more than once. But funnily enough, my back feels great today. Maybe it's because my body is hurting in like 5 other places. So I'm unable to even think about my back while I have a raging headache and a chest that feels like it's burning. But you know what? I'll take it. That's a positive. At least my back doesn't hurt today. I'm down. 2 thumbs up for me, brothers. I kind of like listening. One I kind of like listening to was Creepcast, which just reads old horror stories that reminds me of like 2010s internet. Can't make creepypastas the way you used to anymore. I do love Creepcast. Creepcast is one of the few podcasts I still listen to on occasion. Especially because I don't talk about this much anymore because it's been a while, and I'm not trying to like gas myself up, nor do I want to like make it seem like I'm, you know, I don't know, better than I am. I never want to like over exaggerate myself or like lie about myself. But one of the reasons I love Creepcast is because I used to write short horror stories. I've also had a couple of my short stories published. But the reason I don't talk about it much anymore is because it's admittedly been like 6, 7... Why did I say that? I didn't mean it like... God damn it, bro. You can't even say numbers nowadays without it being a joke. No, it's been like 6 or 7 years since I've published a story. So I feel kind of like disingenuous talking about it nowadays because it's been so long since I have published a short story. But I used to publish, and I used to love writing short horror stories. And I think that, like, you know, obviously I'd want to get back into it someday. The problem, though, is, like, I work a full-time job, I have a wife, and then whenever I'm not at work or spending time with her, I'm usually live streaming video games. So it doesn't leave me a lot of free time to write much anymore. However, I still love horror stories. I still love horror as like a literary genre. So I'm a big fan of Creepcast. Hi, Abby. Hey. Here, let me mute just so you don't say the name of the restaurant, but I would love to order some food right now. One moment, boys. Give me one moment, boys. I'm pulling up a menu. We're gonna find out what we want. See, what I really want, boys, is a calzone, but I also acknowledge that a calzone probably is not going to make me feel better. However, and this is a very important thing that I feel like everyone should know. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. I'm a slut for calzones. So I want maybe a calzone. I don't know. Let me look at their menu a little bit more. I'm so sorry. I will be back playing the game in a moment. All right, boys. Sorry for like the 2 minutes, 3 minutes I was muted. I was trying to find what I wanted, and I think I will be getting a calzone. I just really love a good calzone. I don't know what to tell y'all. And I understand, the cheese, the ricotta, the breading. It's probably not going to make me feel better, but I've eaten soup for like 3 days straight. I should reward myself a little bit, And maybe the the taste of a just scrumptious, hearty, beautiful calzone, maybe that alone will heal my sickness and make me feel better. Hi, Abby. Okay. Can you get me a sausage calzone then? Cool. Love you. Or you could do spinach if it's cheaper. I kind of like both. I'm not saying get both. I'm saying if the spinach one's cheaper, you can do that as well. Would you prefer it more crispy or more doughy? I mean, crispy for sure. I think the thing I like though, this is a little, unrelated to your question. I just love a literal gallon of ricotta cheese in there. Put the entire jar of ricotta cheese in that calzone. Sorry, I realized I missed some chat messages while I was muted. I'm back. As for the 3 Pokemon my cousin got killed, they were all avoidable. Damn. Not you just outing your cousin like that. That's so funny. But yeah, that is definitely interesting lore. I don't talk about it as much as I used to because, again, I feel like almost like shame. That's a very harsh word, but it's kind of true. Like, I feel shame in the fact that it's been several years since I've written and published a short story, because it used to be like my biggest hobby. It used to be the thing I like cared about the most in my life, and the thing I was like most proud of back then. Whereas like nowadays I'm really proud of like live streaming or my marriage, and writing has just kind of fallen by the wayside. But that's not to say that I don't like writing. I still have a huge passion for it, just not so much the time. Yeah, we published a couple short stories. And I have like a whole notebook of short stories I've written and not published. I have another separate notebook of just story ideas. So maybe one day I'll get back into it, especially because I have a lot of story ideas I've never even written, which feels like a disservice to myself, you know? I wrote a really shitty one when I was in the ocean with no internet. What was the story about? Now I'm curious. Now you got me curious, brother. Depends on the quality of the sauce and bread. I don't want to eat a sauce deluxe calzone. No, I get that. I agree with that. Like I said, my preference with the calzone, dude, just put a literal glob, a 5-pound just creature amount of calzone in there. Or sorry, ricotta. I'm going crazy. No, yeah, I would like there to be enough ricotta in there that you can't tell without cutting into it whether or not that's 5 pounds of ricotta or 5 pounds of like a dead rabbit. Sorry, maybe that's a little too much. Anyways. My cousin and I had a Houndoom Scorpy pair. We named Hunapee. He was in double battle and he had his Houndoom and Scorpy out versus a Pachirisu and Ponyta. Oh, versus a Pachirisu and Ponyta. On the 4th turn, it went for its first fire move, Flame Charge, hitting Scorpion, taking it down 3 HP, and then Pachirisu finished it with Spark. That's somewhat heartbreaking, I'll be honest. We had Shellos and Boizel named Puppy. He's trying to weaken a level 29 Onyx and switch out to a level 25 Mew. Oh, dude, I was so confused how you had a Mew for a second, and then I remembered you were talking about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, where Mew is basically just handed to you for free. I was so confused. I'm like, how the heck did you get a Mew in a Nuzlocke? But that makes sense. You got one shot by Rock Throw. That is also heartbreaking. The story had to do with an engineer who worked on the ship's motor. Okay. You know, I could get into that. Obviously, I know nothing else about the story, but immediately I could find that interesting, because some of my favorite type of like horror stories are ones out in the ocean, because the ocean just is such a terrifying place in my opinion. It's so just hopeless. Like if something happens to you out in the middle of the ocean, that feeling of hopelessness I think is more terrifying to me than like a story that focuses on body horror or a story that focuses on the supernatural. Like the ocean, in my opinion, is way scarier than anything like that. So I could fuck with it. Obviously, I know nothing else about the story, but I could fuck with it. Where are we at here? We got 60 left. That's not bad, boys. We are kind of crushing it today. All right, let's get it. I don't know why, but Twitch has been like really leaning into the whole collaboration thing and like co-streaming. They're constantly sending me notifications, like emails about like how to co-stream or what type of content you should collaborate. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I'm not trying to complain. I appreciate that Twitch is like sending me emails about things that they think would probably help me grow because Twitch probably wants to encourage people to co-stream. But at the same time, it just becomes a little frustrating, a little like annoying because while my glass half full mentality could very well be like Twitch is sending me this stuff because they want me to like know what is good on the algorithm. The glass half empty mentality that I have sometimes, it's like Twitch is only sending me this stuff because they're desperate to get people to co-stream or desperate to get people to collaborate. And it just comes across more as like almost like a door-to-door salesman in my email than the company Twitch actually caring about the growth of my channel. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just being too pessimistic, but like I think I'm just getting tired of receiving an email or a notification from Twitch every other day about how I should co-stream with people or what games are the best to collaborate in. Like, can't you see I just want to play 4 copies of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green at once by myself? Like, leave me alone for just a couple days, Twitch. No more emails, no more notifications. He was a sweat monkey who was treated poorly by colleagues. One time, he was needed to fix a valve inside the motor. When someone pressurized... Oh, yeah. That sounds like a fun story, though. Hi, Abby. Yeah, I can mute again. What do you want to get? Alright, sorry about that, boys. We were locking in our order, our dinner order for the night. It's locked in. Locked and ready to go. I I think his arm was inside a hole inside a motor and was extremely cut up and dyed black enough, almost tattooed to his skin. I don't think I went past that though. Interesting. That's kind of neat though. So like I actually kind of like that, because then like the whole, you know, tattooed arm isn't just like for detail, it actually has like an effect on the plot. I kind of like that. I think that's it's very original. Like, I would have never thought about that. Like, using the tattoo as a story element is kind of cool. We had a Swablu named Pink. He was in a double battle, and Patrice. He had Patrice and Swablu out versus a Mime Jr. and Bondsley. Swablu was one shot by Rock Throw. That's rough. But you know, at least you can be proud of yourself, Drac, that only one of the 4 Pokemon that you've lost was your fault. What a banger of a song. Oh my god. We're getting banger after banger today. Alright, boys, 40 left. It's 10 resets, right? I think. Yeah. We just gotta turn these on and off again 10 more times. Let's get it. I love this song so much, man. Alright. You know, I wasn't lying either earlier. I said earlier that this stream was going to be between 2 and 3 hours. And we were going to, like, perfectly hit that margin. Cool. I don't know, man. I said earlier that I wasn't going to live stream my 3DS right away. But just the excitement of getting this capture card attached to my 3DS tomorrow. Maybe I will do a 3DS live stream soon. But like a one-off live stream. Like, we're not going to start a whole new series on my 3DS. We're not going to go like immediately play Pokemon Platinum or Pokemon like X and Y. But maybe we'll just like play a game that you can kind of play in one sitting and just do that as a one-off live stream. Like, I could play through every Mario Kart 7 Grand Prix in one live stream. That could be fun. Could just, yeah, it literally could just be a live stream of us like playing every course in Mario Kart 7. That would only take a couple hours. Wouldn't be too bad. Because I do want to, like, I don't know. I do want to test out this capture card. If I'm getting this capture card attached to my 3DS tomorrow, I also want to, you know, try it out. See how it works. To make it better, I was digging in the underground and found a Monferno and Grottle statue. Tombstones of our former starters. Oh my god, that's sad. I think I was debating whether a tribe attacked the ship, sparing him, since he was made in their image, or that the law enforcement in the area board his ship, captured him, and tortured him for the information. I was split on the idea. I do, you know, again, I'm already intrigued because I love a good ocean story. Oh my god. But let me know if you ever like finish the story. Because, you know, I've been live streaming for about 10 years now. And back when I did used to write short stories and back when I was actively publishing. And again, this was like 6-7 years ago. I used to like share some of those story ideas with the chat, and the chat sometimes would like share ideas back with me, or like I had one person who was telling me about a story they were writing. We would send those stories back and forth to each other. And I'd kind of be down to try and revise and revive that I don't know, that sense of community with the chat when it comes to writing. Like, I stopped sharing my stories so much with the chat, and I stopped like reading stories from the chat when I stopped writing, but I'd be down to, you know, bring that back to life. I think what made it tough though is, like I said, I just don't have a lot of time to really perfect a story. Like, I have a lot of short stories that I've written, but most of them are just first drafts, which is why I have not published most of them. So going through like the editing process and like actually successfully getting a story to a final draft is a little tough for me, I'll admit. That was like 2 years ago, and it's now on a local network on my old ship. Oh, damn. That is unlucky. I could definitely rewrite it, but feel meh about it. Fair. I mean, I relate. That's how I feel about a lot of my stories that are currently sitting in that first draft state. I just don't have the energy to polish them off and finalize them. And a lot of them I also kind of just feel about. Alright, we got 5 resets left, boys. 5 chances left for a shiny tonight. Alright. One thing I want to do... Sorry, I'm thinking about calzones again. My bad. I'm just thinking about food again. One thing I could definitely do, and I want to invest in when my wife and I finally get our own house, is like a stand mixer, specifically because like I would love to make my own pizza dough. Love to make my own calzones. I think I'm just addicted to calzones, honestly. But like making our own pizza dough and stuff like that, making our own bread even, something I've always wanted to try out. I don't know, it's like a hobby I'm very interested in, but something I don't really want to invest the money into until, like I said, we have our own place. It's not something I can justify doing right now. That's a nice little throwback song. Alright. Somehow all of the games just got out of sync there, and I had to like use every ounce of my brain power to get the games back into sync. I don't know if I was just pressing the wrong buttons or what. Everything was out of whack. Alright. No dice. 2 resets left. 2 resets left, boys. Like I said, worst case, we'll come back tomorrow night, try this again. I don't know exactly what time I'm going to be streaming tomorrow night. It depends on how long it takes me to attach that capture card to the 3DS. The one part of that process I'm a little worried about is the capture card. It's a USB-C to USB-A connection. And obviously, there's not a USB-C port on the 3DS. So, like, you plug a USB-C into the 3DS, and then plug the USB-A into your computer. And that's how you can transport the footage from your 3DS to the computer. But because there's no USB-C port just naturally on the 3DS, I'm going to have to cut into the frame of the system and add my own USB-C slot. Like, I'm going to have to cut a section of the case out to fit that USB-C slot in there. And I'm very nervous about cutting into the frame of the 3DS because I don't want to, like, crack it. I don't want to, like, mess it up and leave, like, a giant gash or, like, a giant hole in the case of the 3DS. So I'm a little nervous about that. But depending on how long it takes to attach that capture card, we should be back tomorrow, which I am thrilled about. Hopefully I'm less sick tomorrow, so that live stream will go a little bit more fluid. There'll be less fluids coming out of my body. Sorry. Last reset here. Let's see what we get. No shinies. Unlucky. With that, we are at 2,500. We did another 500 resets today, which has pretty much been our default every stream. I think I'm going to head out with that. Just going to go try to relax, lay down, rest, and also eat a fucking calzone. But I appreciate everyone who showed up today. Thank you all for watching. If you guys have any art portfolios you'd like to send me, DM me on Instagram. Kidding. But it was fun chatting. I actually really enjoyed talking about writing with y'all, so that was an appreciated topic of conversation. I'll say that. Yeah, thank y'all. Have a nice night. See y'all later. Peace.